Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Black Advancement. I am your host slash moderator, Ajiman Asante Goodman. To my far left is Danielle Ali. To my closer left is Greg Goodman. And to my far right is Deanna Ali. And today we will be talking about the N-word under the self-hatred section. Before I get into all that, let me just introduce you and tell you what the Black Advancement is all about. Black Advancement is a movement built to uplift the Black community through action and dialogue to combat problems within the Black community. This word, as everyone knows, is probably the most charged word in the English lexicon. It has taken on many, many forms. Nowadays, it's seen as a term of endearment to some and a term of enslavement to others. So we're going to try to get to the bottom of it today and see what we can come away with, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start with question one. Should Black people use the word nigger in any form, and why or why not? And I will start with Danielle.
Should they? No. Do they? Yes.
Do you?
Yes. And I mean, I probably shouldn't, but I don't use it in terms of trying to, as derogatory. I don't do it to, like, attack somebody, but I do it more, like, jokingly.
Okay.
Yeah, amongst, like, friends or whatever, like, when we're, like, more like slang, as if another, I guess, term of endearment, almost.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Greg?
Black people should be able to say whatever they want to say. If you feel comfortable saying nigga, say nigga. If you don't, then don't. Plain and simple. This is America. Freedom of speech. Say what you feel, when you feel, and how you feel.
Deanna?
Should Black people use it? If we really fully understood the historical significance each time that the word was used, then you probably would think twice before using it. Do Black people use it? Yes. Have I used it? Yes. Am I reconsidering using it after going over the historical implications and talking with people who have heard the word in a form that is extremely derogatory? I am reconsidering the use of it. So yes. Also, I want to bring up the topic of kind of like how people these days will not necessarily use the word as nigger with like the hard R on the end, but kind of reclaim and repurpose it with like nigga or like some type of variation of the word that's used a lot in popular culture, like such as rap songs and amongst youth today. And when you kind of reclaim it and reuse it as a word and kind of taking it back to kind of say, hey, you've used this word as a derogatory statement towards me, and now I'm taking it back and using it in a way that uplifts us, then I could see the value and I could see the argument in using the word in that case.
Could you?
Yes.
Could you see the value of using it in that case?
Not as far as uplifting, but as far as being able to say what you want, yeah. Like I said, when that word was hurting people's feelings, nobody had a problem with it.
I wouldn't say that. I think
Well, Black people, when I say
yeah.
Black people, of course, had a problem with it, but now that we use it, now all of a sudden there's a problem with it. People are upset about it. I'm talking about white people. They're all upset about it. We have to ban the word nigger. We can't just have nigger being floating around in the sky all the time, because they can't really say it comfortably. When it was really, really, really hurting people's feelings, nobody cared. And now that we use it more so than they do, now it's a problem. And pretty soon they're gonna try and, you're gonna end up stopping the whole trying to censor language. And if they do that, suppose they do pass a law where you just can't say nigga no more. Who do you think that is gonna affect most?
Well,
who are the only people that really say it in public generally?
I would think that this would. I think that this is something that older Black people probably more than anybody was push, and some older white folks
Yes,
that
they
were around.
probably would. But they don't use the word anyway, most of them. Most of them.
Some of them.
Some of them do. A lot of them do.
Yeah, a
Now
lot
that
of
I
them do.
Think about it. Knowing some older black
The
guys that I
other black
know.
people that I know, a lot of them do.
But all I'm saying is, it's to me, this is gonna sound crazy, but the word nigga is part of the reparations for black people as far as we can say
Danielle.
whatever. No, but listen, as far as language goes, we can say whatever we want when we want. That's part of it. We never got anything else. What we've got is free language. That's why as a white dude, saying anything now can damn near get you in trouble. You really can't have an opinion as a white man, for the most part, when it comes to feelings. You can't, because you're gonna get dogged. Oh yeah, amongst their buddies and stuff, but anyone who says anything, any white man that says anything publicly that is quasi-racist is gonna get the hammer laid on them.
I think it's all about context and perspective. The context, it's how you're saying it, when you're saying it. And I think as black people together, when they're saying it, it's not meant to, or it's not meant in the same way as another race saying it to demean you. So that's why I don't really see the issue in saying it. It sounds bad.
No,
but
it doesn't sound. It sounds like your opinion, which is
Yeah.
terrible. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go to the guy on the couch, because these guys are bozos. Let's go to the guy on the couch. Guy on the couch, what do you got?
Okay, question number 1. Should black people use the word nigger in any form, and why or why not? First response comes from M. Martin. He or she says, I believe that it should not be used unless it enters an academic discussion on historical context and significance to iterate why it should not be used. Newer generations of Americans grow farther and farther from the time it was commonly and acceptably used as a slur to denigrate and humiliate, so as to get it tossed around jokingly without thinking. Future users of the word will be increasingly ignorant of its origins, symbolizing a long history of oppression. I understand that some black people might enjoy using this word ironically, perhaps as a way to assert a unique cultural identity. But the problem is that white kids today look to black people on how to be cool. In Germany, I remember a young black soldier's shock when he heard a cheery German kid use the term nonchalantly. I thought, what would you expect? The only understanding kids over here have of the word is from popular black music. And so it will go with a newer generation of white kids in America too. So I'm with Coach Carter on this one. If you don't want white people to think the word is cool and funny, then black culture will have to set the example. Back to you.
How do you guys feel about what M. Martin had to say?
I make a point, but to be real, like I said, I don't want anyone censored in any way at all. You should be able to say what you want to say. Period.
I do not. I don't share the same sentiments. I'm sorry. I
Have to.
But
She was like,
I think the comment that M. Martin made it's a valid one. If you do not want people to use the word, I had an experience similar to that. I had one of my good friends ask me why she couldn't. One of my good white friends, why she couldn't use the word, but I could. And the first argument I make is because of the historical implications by your race making that. And it's still even though a lot of things have changed, there's still some things that haven't changed, and that your use of the word is different. And so if we want to, as a people, to make sure that that word's not used in a derogatory manner to us, we shouldn't use it ourselves. However, if you are able to use it in popular culture and kind of lighten the way that it's used, kind of change it in a form, but still kind of keep it similar, and then when other people do use it or ask why they can't use it, you go and you explain to them the historical implications. It can be used as a teaching tool. That's just a kind of a reverse kind of point to them. But I think M. Martin's argument's valid.
Oh, let me reiterate what I'm saying. When I say whatever you want to say, I'm not talking about at the job or something like that. Not in a professional. I'm talking about in your personal life, you can say whatever you want. Now at the job, you can't be like, hey there, nigger, why don't you go over there and get that copy out the printer? That's different. That's different.
That's slavery.
Okay, exactly. That's different. I'm talking about in your day-to-day personal life. What you say is what you say. That is your business and yours alone. And I don't want any of that censored. I don't want anybody walking up at my house saying you shouldn't say what you said in here, like those kinds of things. But like as far as a professional setting, yeah, you're not supposed to cuss and use derogatory terms towards other people and all that other stuff. That's understood.
So do you-
that makes people uncomfortable.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
My question is, why do other races want to say it?
Because of kind of like what the argument was saying that
The same reason why they wear
because
baggy
it's
jeans.
yeah, it's a
Because
popular culture.
they
They
can't.
they look to they're kind of like a cultural appropriations, not quite that, but they look to us to see what is cool. We are the way that Black culture is marketed to the masses is that it's cool and it's hip, and that people want to emulate it to be cool. And so if we say the word, then they're gonna want to say the word too, and then it's like, oh well, why you get to say it and I can't say it? If it's not necessarily meaning the same thing, and things have changed. It's not like 1970 anymore. Like people can make that argument, and when you try to say, well, it's not 1970 anymore, and you still use the word.
It's funny
To be
how
like-
they want to emulate Black culture, but then don't want the same repercussions Black people get for when things go down. I'm sorry, this
And
is
they
what I
don't.
feel. And
No, it's
yeah,
and they
and
don't.
then, but then they want to have the right to emulate it,
Right.
but not get the same repercussions as we get.
They make more
That's
money
like-
off of our culture than we do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what cultural
Tell them what I tell them.
appropriation is too.
You can use the word if you want to, but don't be upset when you get beat the hell up.
For the people who are like, yeah, you can say what you want, you can say what you want. Do you guys say this in mixed racial company, or do you just say this
No.
among?
Right? See, I don't.
Yes.
I do not.
I don't.
Yes, I do. Say
I
what you
don't.
feel. But when you get those repercussions,
See, you
For
no,
your
but
mouth.
what I'm saying is that so this is what I'm saying, right? So if you say it in front of a white person,
the N-word?
yes, that kind of doesn't that defeat something
I don't.
within you? You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that make you feel a certain way to say it in front of them?
I don't care what they think.
I don't
No,
think
I
I
understand.
care
No,
what they think.
I
I
respect
just
that,
don't
but it's
do
not.
it.
But I'm just saying, like from a perspective of, so that they won't at least think that it's okay to say.
Right.
They're
Or
grown.
these got-
The people I'm talking about are grown ass men.
Yeah.
They know right from wrong. They know what they feel, and they know what they should say and what they shouldn't say based on their own personal opinion. So, like I said, if you say it, that's on you, buddy. Am I gonna stop you from saying it? No. Like I said, free speech. Say what you want. But when you get slapped in the mouth for saying it,
But that's.
But are you gonna be the one who's gonna be slapping them in the mouth for saying it? If I'm around my friends and the things that I do say and the things that I allow them to say to me, those are boundaries that we do set within the parameters of like those of our friendship. And so if I'm saying the N-word all the time, and then they hang around me all the time, and then eventually they're gonna get comfortable with
Yeah.
hearing the word, and they might even get comfortable using the word. And if I say, "Oh, you shouldn't say that," they'll be like, "Well, why not? You say it to me all the time. Like you say it around me all the time." And so that's one of the reasons why I do not use the word.
like if there's a rap song on and one of my white partners knows the lyrics and they happens to be in there, I'm not gonna make them completely censor it if we're at a concert or something and the word is there and they sing along with the lyrics.
Are you gonna punch me in the face?
No, it's part of the song.
I would consider.
It's part of the song.
In the throat.
I would. Like I said,
consider
because it's already out there. They're just singing along with the words. It's
Yeah,
a show.
but I
They
wouldn't
like the
want to
song,
go to
whatever.
a concert that says that with them.
Censoring language, then where does it stop? That's all I'm saying.
That's one word, man.
I mean, but how
that's how it
long are
starts.
we
It's
gonna
one
let
word.
that? Why
And then it'll turn into another word.
does this word have
What
to
other
be stamped
word-
in history forever?
What
as
other
negative?
word within American history is of the same ilk as this word?
There's not another word.
There's nothing
Well,
else
what
that
I'm
is.
saying
Yeah.
is, look.
From other
go on.
cultures?
Go on.
Okay, so
I don't
look.
say it.
This is what I'm saying is.
Why
if
not?
you're gonna do that,
What? Are you serious?
Because I'm not that race.
look, all
So
I'm
do
saying
you
is
think
this.
that as a
I
black
don't
person
disrespect
that
them.
So you
have
respect them more
ownership-
than you respect me?
No, I don't want
No,
them
they
to
have
disrespect
ownership
me.
of the word. So you're
Yeah.
saying that because of the
What? Wait, what?
as a black people should have ownership of that word because of how long it's been used to
Right.
be discriminated against us.
No,
Is that kind of
I'm saying we should have ownership of language, period. Because it'll start off with, nobody can say nigga no more. Then you'll have a gay group. Oh, I don't want to hear faggot ever again. Although gay people call each other faggots
Yeah,
at
all
times.
the time.
And then it'll be like
It's
women
a-
like, that. I don't ever want to hear bitch again unless you're talking about a puppy.
And girls say
And
it to each
then-
other all the time.
Yeah, and girls say
I
it
actually
that.
do not like
it'll be a,
using that.
You don't like
yeah,
it, but a lot
you
of
don't,
women
but
say
other
it to
girls
each
do it all
other.
the time. It'll
I
be
like
a
it.
domino
I like
effect.
it.
And before you know it, everything will be PG.
But-
it'll be a PG society.
But nobody was bitches weren't put into slavery like that. Bitches weren't put into
No,
slavery.
I'm not-
for
but
400
what I'm
years.
saying
That's,
is
that
that's-
wasn't used.
I'm not
Faggots wasn't used
But
like
faggot
that.
is
But
a
you're-
very
you're
derogatory
I'm not.
term.
I'm not
Yes.
saying that it's not. What
And
I'm
it's
saying
almost
is,
on par with it.
But what
I
but that's
would disagree with
It's
that.
almost like you're
hold on,
associating.
hold on,
That's
hold on.
okay.
Let me finish saying what I'm saying then. I'm not saying that that word is not messed up in the context of slavery and everything. I'm saying if you take away that word, then other things can be taken away. More and more and more. You think it'll just start? You know, if you give a motherfucker a rope, he gonna want to be a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? you give an inch, they're gonna take a mile. So if you take away one word, then they'll take away other words and other words. And before you know it, it's 1984.
My thing is, it seems like you're more
Oh, wow.
angry with slavery, which you should be, but you're associating everything with slavery, and you're trying to say, like, we can't say the N word because it's associated with slavery. There's a bunch of things associated with slavery, so should we not say those
Such
words
as
either?
Such as what words?
Like,
Shitlets.
what were we saying there?
Like what? I'm sorry. What?
Coon, she said coon.
Yeah. You think that I go around spouting
No.
out different racial epithets? Is that what you think that I do
Well, that's what
in my
I'm saying.
spare
Like, how
time?
long are we gonna deem this negative? Why can't we start?
Why can't they start?
Who's
No, it's always
How
it's
come-
always
why
gonna be
can't
negative.
someone else
You
start?
have to, because the people who are offense has to start. They have to be the ones to make the change. If you're gonna really want it to start to change, that's why I put that reverse kind of way that a person could describe that I don't necessarily say the hard R, but I do say a version of the word, and I use it to take back the meaning, to lessen the meaning of that word and of the N word, and to make it so that we're taking it back. It's ours now. You're not going to offend me anymore when you say this word. I am not ignorant. I am not lazy. I am not what you try to put me as. And that could be empowering, and that's the way you could use language to empower. But at the same time, there's a caveat to that where you can have what M. Martin argued, that, well, people will use the word as they want to. And it could still have some of the same historical negative implications because it's not quite a society where there's no more racism.
By not saying it doesn't erase the negativity from it. So I mean, by not saying it, what are you accomplishing?
What are you accomplishing by saying it?
That's the point. I'm asking, like,
To me,
whether
to
we
me,
say it or
this
not.
is my personal opinion. To me, by not saying it, what it does is it gives nobody an excuse to say it. If someone says it after you've set the line and said, "Hey, no one's saying this word anymore," that tells me that you're going out of your way to be a certain way, and that's cool if you want to be that way. But it tells me off bat. You can't say, "Oh, well, you said it." You can't use that excuse anymore. That's an excuseless thing when nobody says it anymore. But that's just me. If you want to know more about it, you can go to our research section at www.blackadvancement.com. Or you can go to the debates where you can hear us get into it like this. Or you can go to the solution section and bring forth a solution. Man, we'll be back, man.